Imagine a single policy update reshaping your hiring plan, your visa timeline, or your family's future overnight. If you are building a life in the United States through research, engineering, healthcare, data science, or technology, you already know the tension. Your talent is global, but your paperwork is local. When the economy shifts or the rules change, STEM professionals often feel it first because so many careers depend on status, sponsorship, and timing. In this video, we are breaking down 4 major developments in order. First, an inspiring real-world success story of a STEM immigrant building innovation while staying strictly inside the rules of the H-1B visa, which is the program that lets American employers hire talented foreign professionals for specialized jobs in fields like technology, engineering, and science. Then, a game-changing federal court decision from Nebraska in extraordinary ability cases confronts a frustrating reality for applicants. It forces us to ask the big question that will drive our conclusion today. Is USCIS ignoring your extraordinary ability proof? We will answer that question when we reach that story. Stay tuned. Next, timely updates on the fiscal year 2027 H-1B cap season and the new weighted selection process. And finally, we will zoom out to the economy. Layoffs, artificial intelligence-linked restructuring, and what it all means for your visa strategy and long-term mobility. The goal is not fear. It is to replace uncertainty with a clear plan so you can protect your career and keep building the work that brought you here. If you want to stay ahead of these rapid changes, hit that like button and subscribe right now. We track the latest high-skill immigration updates so you can make smarter decisions for your career. Before we investigate the first story, let's hear from you. With the H-1B selection system changing and AI reshaping the job market, what is your biggest concern for 2026? Is it getting selected in the lottery or finding a role that fits the new rules? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Building a startup on H-1B status. We hear the same burning question from H-1B holders in STEM constantly. Can I start a side business or pursue a great idea while keeping my current job? It is the ultimate immigrant struggle. Your employer sponsors your visa, but you see a market gap you are dying to fill. The good news is that it is possible, but only if you treat compliance as seriously as your code. Take the case of Devjit Sahar, co-founder and chief technology officer of Home Abroad. He came to the United States in 2013 on a student visa for his master's in computer science, then landed a full-time software engineering role at Oracle on an H-1B. While working there, he spotted a huge pain point. Many immigrants struggle to obtain fair mortgage terms because they lack an established U.S. credit history. Here is why this hits new arrivals so hard, even for basic things like renting an apartment or leasing a car. When you first arrive, you are often credit invisible in the United States system. Lenders and landlords run credit checks, but there is no history, no score, and no payment record. Foreign credit does not transfer easily, and banks typically require U.S. tax returns, local pay stubs, and proof of steady income. Without it, you face denials, huge deposits, or sky-high rates. The same story applies to car loans or leases. No credit usually means cash-only deals or tough terms. It is a real catch-22. Sahar and his co-founder built Home Abroad to solve it. The platform helps foreign nationals and global investors secure U.S. mortgages through specialized options such as DSCR loans. DSCR stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. These loans focus on the property's rental income. If the expected rent covers the mortgage payment, typically at a 1.0 times or better ratio, the property qualifies on its own. without heavy reliance on your personal credit or two incomes. It is a smart workaround for investors and newcomers. But as an H-1B holder, Sahar could not run day-to-day operations. He consulted attorneys early, followed their guidance strictly, invested in the business, and contributed technically while staying in his full-time Oracle role. That disciplined structure kept everything compliant and legal. Policy analyst Stuart Anderson at the National Foundation for American Policy has long shown that immigrants like Sahar start a disproportionate share of high-value companies and create jobs. Researchers Timothy McQuaid and Amir Kermani at UC Berkeley Haas found that mixed teams of immigrant and U.S.-born founders often grow faster, hire more people, and raise larger rounds. We asked attorney Chris M. Ingram, how should highly skilled immigrants view these restrictive systems without losing hope? Your immigration journey is not a measure of your worth. It is a system you learn to navigate with courage and precision. If you are building in STEM, your discipline today becomes your freedom tomorrow. Now I want to ask you, do you have a startup idea you have been sitting on because you are afraid of breaking visa rules? Tell us what you would build if you had the freedom. Drop it in the comments. Sahar's story proves you do not have to choose between security and entrepreneurship. Innovation and lawful status can coexist if you plan with precision. Don't let legal complexity stall your ambition. You can book a free consultation with the law offices of Chris M. Ingram and get the strategy you need to move forward. Visit breakthroughusa.com right now to start your visa journey. Federal court rules on EB-1A denials. A federal court decision out of Nebraska is sending shockwaves through the extraordinary ability community. And if you are a STEM professional, you need to pay attention. It confronts the single most frustrating question for applicants. What happens when you clearly meet the regulatory criteria, but an officer still says no? The Extraordinary Ability Green Card, known as EB-1A, is the gold standard for individuals with extraordinary ability in the sciences, arts, business, or athletics. It skips the labor certification process, also known as PERM. That is the 12 to 24-month requirement under which employers must demonstrate through recruitment and testing that no qualified United States workers are available for the position at the prevailing wage. EB-1A lets you go straight to the main petition that asks USCIS to determine if you qualify as a person of extraordinary ability in your field. This gives you greater flexibility and control and can significantly accelerate the path to permanent residency. The regulations give you 10 specific criteria to choose from. You need to meet at least 3 of them and show that you intend to continue working in your area of expertise. Examples include major international awards, published material about your work, original scientific contributions of major significance, authorship of scholarly articles, membership in associations that demand outstanding achievement, and judging the work of others in your field. For decades, the way these cases were decided evolved through court decisions and agency policy. In 1994, a federal court in Michigan decided the Bulletini case. The plaintiff was an Albanian physician who clearly met several regulatory criteria. The court ruled that once an applicant satisfies at least 3 criteria, they should be presumed to have extraordinary ability. The burden then shifts to the government to provide specific and substantiated reasons for denial. It was a relatively applicant-friendly approach. Then came the 2010 Ninth Circuit decision in the Kazarian case. The petitioner was an Armenian theoretical physicist who submitted evidence, including publications, citations, and letters from prominent colleagues. USCIS denied the case in part because it required the evidence itself to be extraordinary, a kind of circular logic the court rejected. By the end of 2010, USCIS had published a policy memo formally adopting a 2-step analysis for these petitions. Step 1 is to count whether the evidence meets at least 3 criteria. Step 2 is to perform a final merits determination to decide whether the totality of the evidence shows sustained a claim and top of the field standing. Many saw this as USCIS, adding a new subjective layer. That brings us to the current case. In Mukherjee versus Miller, the United States District Court for the District of Nebraska reviewed an extraordinary ability denial under the Administrative Procedure Act. The plaintiff, an Indian national and journalist, filed the main petition asking USCIS to determine whether she qualifies as a person of extraordinary ability in her field. USCIS conceded that she met 5 of the 10 regulatory criteria, well above the minimum. Yet the agency denied the petition at the final merits stage, concluding that she had not shown sustained a claim at the very top of her field. The court focused on a fundamental legal question. Was USCIS two-step framework, particularly the final merits layer, lawfully adopted? The judge ruled that it was not. The agency had created and implemented this additional step without going through the required notice and comment rulemaking process. The court found the approach arbitrary and capricious under the Administrative Procedure Act. As a result, it vacated the denial and ordered USCIS to approve the petition outright. For STEM professionals, this is potentially game-changing. Researchers, engineers, data scientists, clinicians, and founders who have invested years in building a strong record now have reason to feel more confident that meeting regulatory criteria will carry real weight. The ruling does not lower the high statutory standard, but it pushes back against the subjective overlay that has led to so many unexpected denials. This is a single district court decision in Nebraska, so it is binding only in that district for now. Applicants elsewhere can still cite it persuasively when responding to requests for evidence or notices of intent to deny, and it may influence how officers evaluate cases nationwide. We do not yet know whether USCIS plans to appeal. It is very possible the agency will also issue new guidance or a policy memo, just as it did after Kazarian in 2010. In the meantime, the ruling already gives stronger grounds for challenges and may encourage more filings or appeals in strong cases. Practically speaking, your documentation strategy is more important than ever. Think like a scientist. Do not just list accomplishments. Explain and prove how your work advanced the field, was adopted by others, improved outcomes, or set new standards. Independent expert letters, citation analyses, media coverage, and evidence of implementation all become even more powerful. This decision also comes alongside other recent procedural changes affecting planning. The Department of Homeland Security issued a final rule raising fees for the expedited review option for petitions. For example, the fee for the main petition that asks USCIS to determine if you qualify as a person of extraordinary ability will rise from the current $2,805 to $2,965. These changes apply to requests postmarked on or after March 1st, 2026. The faster review option is often more than a convenience for STEM workers. It can be the tool that keeps projects moving and careers on track. We asked attorney Chris M. Ingram, what should an applicant do if they feel their valid evidence is being ignored by a subjective decision? If you have earned recognition through real work that advances science and serves people, do not let a confusing denial define your future. The right strategy is built on evidence, clarity, and the courage to keep moving. I want to hear from you. Have you or someone you know received a denial that claimed you met the criteria but failed the final merits review? Share your experience in the comments. While this decision is currently binding only in Nebraska, it is a powerful tool for challenging denials nationwide and may influence how officers evaluate cases going forward. New H-1B wage-based selection system. For thousands of STEM graduates and employers, the H-1B cap season is not just a calendar event. It is a survival stress test. It decides whether an F1 student can transition from optional practical training to a real career, or whether a research team loses its most critical engineer. For fiscal year 2027, the timeline is clear, but the selection mechanics have been completely redesigned. Mark these dates. Registration opens at noon Eastern on March 4th, 2026, and closes strictly at noon on March 19th. Selections are expected by March 31st, with petitions starting April 1st. The big change is the Department of Homeland Security's new weighted selection process, effective February 27th, 2026. Gone is the purely random lottery when demand is high. USCIS will now give greater weight to multiple entries in the selection pool for higher wage levels based on the Department of Labor's occupational employment and wage statistics. Level 4 wages get 4 times the weight, down to Level 1 at 1. The stated goal is to favor higher skilled and higher paid roles while still leaving room across wage levels. This means offer structure matters more than ever. Big technology and well-funded companies offering higher wages may have a statistical edge, while startups, academic labs, or nonprofits offering lower salaries, even for highly skilled roles, could face tougher odds. Documentation is now higher stakes. Accurate occupation codes, prevailing wage levels, and consistent job descriptions are critical. For international students on F1, this reinforces the need for parallel tracks. Use optional practical training and STEM extensions intentionally to build portable evidence, such as publications, patents, and peer review, so O1, EB-2, National Interest Waiver, or even EB-1A becomes a realistic backup. We asked attorney Chris M. Ingram, how should STEM professionals respond when the system appears to be moving the goalposts? In STEM, you are trained to plan with data, not panic, and immigration should be no different. When the timeline is tight, preparation becomes peace of mind. Build your options early, and you protect your future. I want to know your strategy on this. With wage levels now acting as a proxy for skill, how does this change your approach to finding an employer? Are you pivoting to bigger firms or doubling down on alternative visa paths? Let me know in the comments. In the long term, Bureau of Labor Statistics data still shows strong structural demand for STEM roles, faster growth and higher wages than non-STEM fields. But the system can still create bottlenecks, so early preparation is key. AI restructuring and STEM job cuts. The United States economy is sending a mixed but serious signal to STEM professionals. Long-term demand for high-skilled work remains strong, but the short-term market is being reshaped by cost pressures, restructuring, and rapid adoption of artificial intelligence. For immigrants, this matters more because job stability is often tied directly to your lawful status. Reuters reported that in early 2026, companies implemented massive layoffs as they streamlined operations amid rising adoption of artificial intelligence. Amazon alone confirmed 16,000 corporate cuts as part of broader reductions aimed at reducing layers and bureaucracy. Technology has led to private sector job cuts, with artificial intelligence frequently cited as a factor as companies reallocate budgets toward infrastructure and data capabilities. Challenger, Gray, and Christmas noted that technology is shifting faster than any other industry toward artificial intelligence implementation, combined with past overhiring, resulting in real job losses in some areas. At the same time, the Bureau of Labor Statistics projects that STEM employment will continue to outpace non-STEM growth through 2034, with significantly higher median wages. This creates a paradox. The economy needs STEM talent overall, but individual workers can lose roles in sudden reorganizations. Martha Gimbel at the Yale Budget Lab and analysts at Brookings have observed that broad data so far shows more stability than a massive artificial intelligence jobs apocalypse, though some routine tasks are shifting, and companies sometimes use artificial intelligence language around cuts. For the immigration strategy, this means 3 practical things. First, build paperwork resilience. Keep evidence up to date so you can transfer H-1B petitions quickly, or pivot if needed. Second, artificial intelligence is replacing some routine work, such as drafting and basic analysis, but creating demand in areas like model deployment, data governance, cybersecurity, and applied research. Position yourself where your specialized skills are harder to automate and easier to document. Third, when high-skilled immigrants cannot stay, the broader economy loses innovation at a time when global competition in artificial intelligence and engineering is intensifying. We asked attorney Chris M. Ingram, how do we counter the fear that immigrant talent is expendable or competing against American workers during these cuts? Immigrant talent does not compete against America. It strengthens America. When STEM immigrants can continue to build here, innovation expands, companies grow, and communities thrive. I want to know what you are seeing on the ground. In your specific field, is artificial intelligence currently acting as a tool that makes you more efficient, or is it a threat that is eliminating roles? Tell me your perspective in the comments. In a restructuring economy, the strongest strategy is the one that gives you options before you need them. Across these 4 stories, one theme keeps returning. STEM immigrants succeed when they turn uncertainty into structure. But we still have to answer the big question we started with. Is USCIS ignoring your extraordinary ability proof? Based on the Mukherjee decision, the answer is that they have been. But a federal court has just ruled they cannot. For years, the final merits determination allowed officers to subjectively dismiss your evidence even after you met the criteria. The court ruled that this 2-step framework was created without lawful procedure and is arbitrary and capricious. This means that while the standard remains high, the government cannot simply ignore your objective achievements based on a gut feeling anymore. We asked attorney Chris M. Ingram for one final piece of advice for everyone watching. You belong in the future you are building. Stay steady, stay informed, and keep your dignity intact, because your work has value and your story is still unfolding. If you found value in this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. It helps us get this information to the people who need it most. Systems can be slow, expensive, and unpredictable. Your value is not. Do not wait for clarity to arrive from the outside. Create it. Book your free consultation with the law offices of Chris M. Ingram. Visit breakthroughusa.com right now and let us protect your American dream together. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.